Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE fan 0599 here again, and welcome back to WWE Fans TV Recap Show. And today's recap show will be for The Flash. So, this episode is entitled Flash of Two Worlds. Now, if you have not seen this episode, spoilers are ahead. So, like I said, if you haven't seen the episode, please do not watch this review. Because there's going to be spoilers. But if you have seen the episode, or if you just don't care about spoilers, continue on watching. So let's get into the episode. So, what this episode is basically about, it's about, Jay Garrett, he's telling, the Flash that we're in danger. Our universes collided with each other, and Zoom sends the Sand Destroyer to come now and try and kill the Flash. And now they don't know whether or not to trust Jay Garrett or not. So, yeah. So, what did I think of this episode? This was a great episode. I would say this is a tad bit better than the premiere episode. This really was a great second episode. I really enjoyed this episode of The Flash. It was a really great episode. So yeah, it was just a great episode. So let's get into my positives. And my positives are the acting with the episode. The acting was really good with this episode. I thought the acting was really good with this episode. Grant Gustin as the Flash. Really enjoying him. I'm thinking he's getting better and better. I really enjoyed him in this episode. Showed some really good emotion in this episode. He was really good. I enjoyed him in this episode. I thought Grant Gustin did a great job this episode, so yeah. I forgot the actor's name, but the guy who's playing Jay Garrett, he did a great job. He's doing a great job so far. I really enjoyed him in this episode. I thought he did a really great job. I really enjoyed him. I thought he was really good in this episode. I really enjoyed him, so yeah. Everyone else was really good as well. I thought, Daniel Padmaker as Caitlin, she was great. I thought everyone else did a great job. The guy who plays Cisco did great as well. So yeah, I thought everyone else did a great job in this episode. So yeah, the acting overall in this episode was really great. I thought everybody did a nice job in this episode. So yeah. The action in the episode was really good. When the two scenes where Flash is fighting Sand Destroyer, those were really good. And the training sequence was really good as well. I really liked the action in this episode. The action was really good in this episode, so yeah. The writing with the episode, the writing's really good with the episode. I thought the writing was pretty good with the episode. In my opinion, I thought the writing was really good with this episode, so yeah. The directing was really good as well. I thought the directing was very nice with the episode. Some nice directing, I really enjoyed that. I really liked the nice directing with this episode, so yeah. The visuals looked really good as well in this episode. Way better than last week's abomination of visual effects. I'm sorry, that was an abomination towards the visual effects last week. I'm sorry, but the effects were actually really good in this episode. Way better than that horrendous piece of garbage visual effects that were last week. So yeah, visuals were really good in this episode. So let's talk about some of the moments that happened in this episode, because there were a lot of moments that really happened in this episode. Let's talk about when they're testing Jay Garrett, like trying to test him and test who he is, basically. I really enjoyed that. I like seeing that they're testing him, seeing what he is. Is he telling the truth? And he really is telling the truth. So yeah, and I like seeing that. I actually really enjoyed those test sequences. When Joe is getting a new partner, and her name is Peppy something. But, Peppy, that's her first name. I really enjoyed that, seeing that she wants to basically be on the task force. And when she meets with Barry, the back and forth, I really enjoyed that. Especially when Joe's interrogating someone, they're like making reference, I don't know what references they're trying to do, but it was just funny. I really enjoyed that. I really liked that. That was really funny in my opinion. I really enjoyed that. So yeah. When Cisco goes to the guy, it's Firestorm's other person. I just always forget his name, but he goes up to him like he's writing down stuff, and he says, "Okay, take it easy, you beautiful mind." Got that right away. That was pretty funny, since I know what they're talking about. So yeah. When Cisco is really developing his powers, like, it really is developing in this episode, like, you know, he can see what's going on, like, some terrible, terrible things about to happen, like, he sees when Flash is facing, Sand Demon, that was, or Sand Destroyer, I think it was Sand Destroyer, you know, when you see that, that was really cool. And when the doctor, I'll just call him the doctor for now, when the doctor finds out, like, how come you were able to predict that? And Cisco's like, you could not tell anybody this, I might have powers. So, yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was really cool, so yeah. When Jay Garrett is training with the Flash, because the only way he's gonna stop Sand Demon is to pull a Zeus and shoot out lightning, and he's gotta run like really, really fast and just time it really well and just shoot a lightning bolt. And I really enjoyed that training sequence. And when Flash and Jay Garrett have to basically work together as partners in this, I really enjoyed that. I like seeing that, even though Jay Garrett doesn't really have his powers anymore because, of course, he went into a different dimension. So, yeah. I really enjoyed that final sequence when both Flashes are fighting up against Sand Demon. That was really enjoyable when you see Flash just go all Zeus-like, Zeus, and just shoot him right with the lightning. That was really enjoyable. I really liked that. So, yeah. Let's get to the end of the episode where, you know, they're all talking everything, and then the Doctor just collapses. He just collapses, and, you know, it was like, whoa, what's going on with him? Did he have a heart attack or something? We don't know. He just collapsed, and we'll have to find out to see what happened in next week's episode. One thing I forgot to mention, when Peppy does get the job, we find out the reason why she wanted this job, because the two guys in the very first episode, remember the ones that escaped in the plane and got hit with the particle accelerator? Well, they killed her father, and now she basically wants revenge. Sort of. So, yeah. And then when we get to the end of the episode, the end credits, the end credits scene, we see that we're in another dimension. We're in Earth number 2. I'll just call it Earth number 2. And we see Harrison Wells. And in the creepiest way possible, he's like, hello, children. It just, oh my goodness. If that doesn't tell you he's a creep, then, but yeah, that was crazy. So, Harrison Wells is in Earth 2 now. He exists in Earth 2. So, yeah. And that's going to be really interesting to see if he does come to Earth 1. So, yeah. My only negative with this episode is when Barry is kind of being, like a whiner. I get the reason why he doesn't want to trust Jay Garrett at first, because the last time he trusted someone, he killed his mother. I get that, absolutely. But he was just like, oh, I don't know. Even though the guy has tested positive, has said he is from the future, and basically they have proof, and so yeah, I just didn't really enjoy that. I thought he was just being a baby at parts, but that was only at parts. That's really my only problem with this episode, so yeah. So overall, this was another great episode from The Flash. I love this episode. Definitely a tad bit better than the premiere episode, so yeah. So it's time for my official grade on this episode, and my official grade on this episode is an A. I really enjoyed this episode. This is a great episode. I loved it, so yeah. So what do you guys think of this week's episode? Leave in the comment section below. I'm WWE Fan 0599, and we'll see you out later. Peace.